I see it recording.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, if you're tuning in now, I'm here with Annette Park, who is living in Alberta, just outside of Red Deer, a small little community. Maybe not small, I'm not entirely sure. What I do know, what I do know, though, is that every video that I watch from her, she always has this little vibrant dance going on. She's living the dream. Everything shifted for her when she decided to shift her mindset. So I would love to hear from you, Annette, about shifting your mindset and what that entails.
Well, it was funny because I read like lots of self-help books, done some meditation, did a lot of different things, but what I was missing is the actual action. And the best thing about this program is it makes it impossible not to do the action steps. Because I used to talk about it with my patients and my tenants lots. Fake it till you make it. So if you're feeling a bit depressed and you don't feel like getting out of bed, you need to get out of bed. You need to go for that walk. You need to have that shower. You need to get moving. And so it was funny because I used to talk about it a lot. And in some areas of my life, I was really good. And then other areas of my life, I really seen that I was lacking. So this really helped me live more congruently in all areas of my life.
Yeah. And it's all about the small steps. Everybody out there talks about it's the small step that makes change. So can you tell us what are some of the small steps you did every day to change your mind frame?
The small steps, abundant finances. It's funny because kind of the more abundance you have, or even belief in abundance, the more you give, the less attached you are to money, but yet the more you can do with it. Like it's this interesting thing that happens about, this sort of detachment with it, but yet it's more of a flow and it comes more freely. And so you can share it. So it's really interesting because the more you're attached and the more you cling on, the less you seem to have, but yet the more less attachment you have to it. And the more you're living a life like you have abundance in that area, buying my puppy for one thing, because it was it's a pretty big expense. I'm a single mom. So am I going to have to not have to pick up extra shifts anymore? Am I going to afford the vet bills? Am I going to afford the puppy itself? Like there's a whole bunch of things. And so I bought the puppy and that was one of the big things. And I started just living a life like it had already happened. Like the abundance was already there. And then literally one morning, my TFSA went from, I don't even know how many hundreds %. Like it was just incredible. And so it just manifested. And then you become even less attached to the finances, but see the benefits of having that abundance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when I was talking to Blake, he was talking about how the program and the community is all about building a legacy, building a community that's really going to change the world. And the one fundamental part of that is the fact that if we don't have the right mindset about it, we're never going to be able to go and challenge the big corporations that are harming people all across the world and doing a disservice to our world for the sake of profits. So the whole reason we're building our TFSAs, the whole reason we're building our financial portfolios, so that we can essentially do more, experience more, and be more of who we already are. And I know based on watching your videos that seeing you dancing and doing all that vibrancy stuff, I know that you're creating your legacy through your child, through Liam. And so tell me about how everything's changed as a result of what you've done and how you've seen his life be different.
Oh, fine. Well, and just addressing the whole, like the reason that there's a corruption and problems in those areas, because a lot of really rich people or corporations have money that have the power. So just the best thing about this is really good people with really good intentions with the planet, the animals, and other people are going to have the money to challenge that. Mm-hmm. Like we're going to shift that power. So no longer it's in the hands, right? The power meaning money to a degree, right? Because you need money to challenge it. And for Liam, because I have, of course, some people that I'm coaching. And so when I have these people over and we're sharing this and everybody's so excited and there's no limits to our hopes and dreams. Like I'm chatting with them about buying a place on the ocean in Victoria. I have people that are part of my program that are like shifting from 2 to 3 jobs to 1 job. There's people that never dreamt they would pay off their mortgage that see that there's an absolute chance that they can pay off their mortgage, have more free time for family and friends, give back. Like every single person that's really been done really well in this program that's been my clients really have an agenda to give back to somebody or something. Like they really are clear on that. And it's so exciting for them. And so that's the best part, is sharing that with them, right? So
yeah, and again, to relate back to that conversation with Blake that I had, you saying that everybody wants more money, but then he said, well, what do you want to do with that money?
yeah.
And if you don't have a clear answer about why you want to earn X number of dollars in investments, or why you want to have a certain number of clients, or why you want this, if you don't have that purpose-driven life, then the reality is you're not likely to get it. And if you do, you're going to lose it. And a perfect example of that is that you look at happiness studies between people that win millions of dollars, and you look at it and they're not any happier. And in fact, they've lost it half the time because they never had a purpose or agenda behind it. So yeah, I mean,
it's so cool. And then, so like you said, with Liam, that's like, I'm trying to sit still, but with Liam, that was the thing, right? He's listening to these people share, like, for example, I don't know if it's okay to say her name, so I'll just say this lady friend of mine that I'm coaching. She has a caregiver for her 3 children that she can't wait to like gift her and take her out for lunch and buy her things, because this childcare provider has been like the mom, the grandma that these kids haven't had, right? She can't wait to share this abundance with the people that she loves and cares about. And she did it before, and now she's just doing it more often. She's the kind of person that's like loves taking her girlfriends out for lunch, loves spoiling people, is like doing things for whole neighborhoods and giving out gifts. Like she's just one of these incredible people that has these big hearts that, she knows exactly what she's going to be doing with, this financial abundance. It's just incredible. And then the best thing is she gave back before, but then it doesn't have any, she has enough now that it doesn't have like a negative effect on her family vacations,
right?
Or having to pick up extra shifts again, right? So it's that freedom, that less attachment.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the biggest driving factors, and it probably plays into your life as well, is the aspect of time. So how much time freedom we're able to gain as a result of, not as a result of financial things, but mostly as a result of how we think about things, how we frame things. Because how we think about things determines if we're actually able to play into the stock market a little bit more, or coach clients better, or that kind of thing. So talk about time freedom for you.
Time freedom for me is having a little bit more control over like my mornings. For example, instead of a dead run for saying, because I'm taking a 4-month LOA right now, that's what I'm on a leave of absence without pay to focus more on this business. And so the exciting part is I start my morning off with some meditation, and I get Liam off to school, and I get to like have a little bit of control over those first few hours to get myself in that mindset. And then I have my appointments, and then I have my meetings, and then I can be back for him after school. And then after he goes to bed, I can also coach some people. So being able to work that without having to take him to extra childcare, not being stressed about the days that he doesn't have school. It's like, oops, I forgot he has a day off school. Now what do I do? And now I have to find childcare, right? It's always a struggle, right? So if you can have that freedom, then you can work your work around it. That's the best part for me.
Yeah. How big of a dreamer is somebody that would be, I don't want to say the right fit for the program, but is the program the right fit for that person? How big of a dreamer do you have to be?
As long as you have a real true mission to give back, no matter how small or how big, like honestly, once you kind of get that momentum, you just realize you have to build a bigger dream board. Like you will reach some of the things that you've been thinking may take years in a way like way faster time frame. So you will have to think better, bigger, dream bigger, and give bigger. So that's a really good problem to have. Like that's what I think anyways. You don't have to be super big, because you will get there. You will feel that momentum.
Yeah. I think one thing we're really building as part of this program is the idea of empowerment. So I would love to hear your thoughts on how your son, Liam, is empowering other people maybe to live a different life.
Well, he wants to do a YouTube video for children, like for vegan kids. So he wants to start talking about, like, he likes, of course, baking and cooking and stuff like that, but he wants to talk about like real issues about loving animals and what that looks like. And there's so many different foods out there that you don't really have to feel like you're missing out anymore as a kid. You can be anywhere and go any place. You can have hot dogs and cakes and pizza and all the things that every other kid can have without having to harm the planet, harm other animals. And that's what he wants to do. So, because he sees me do videos, and you see him jump in every once in a while with this healthy, wealthy wise.
Yeah,
he's like all pumped up. And so he really wants to start doing videos. And I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. So what's your main driving factor going forward for the rest of your life in this program or outside of?
Well, I will always be part of Healthy Wealthy Wise. I'm not going anywhere. There's nothing that's been more in alignment with who I am and what I stand for than this program. And going forward, I can't wait to share it with more people. Like, there's so many people interested, and they will know when it's the right time for them. But I think my mission is to share it with the right people, that when they hear it, they will know that this is like, just like I knew, and just like Tammy knew. And there was a lot of people that I shared this with that just knew that it was like when they first listened to The Secret, for example, like they just really knew on an energetic level that this was what they've been looking for, right? And so it's just getting it out there to the right people, because you'd hate for, somebody to go through their whole life and miss this opportunity, because it's incredible. Like, it's changed my life.
Yeah, and not just your life, but the life of your son, the life of your family, absolutely. And everybody.
Yeah. And so my mission is probably to share it with mostly women, to help single moms and single women and women that are going through whatever they're going through, and letting them know that there's absolutely no limits. They can own their own house. They can be financially abundant. They can live independently. Your choices can be limitless. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. And if you want to, of course, partner up with somebody, that's fantastic. But you don't have to have somebody to reach your dreams. You can do it on your own.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I kind of figured that's where you're going, but I wanted to
thanks for bringing me back.
Put you into that a little bit. So, that's cool. And that's the beauty of this program, is the fact that whoever you want to work with, you can do that. And it's that bigger vision, that mission, that purpose, and the people that have that, I don't know, I guess you can call it like that alignment within them. Yeah. And it just fits and it goes. Like, for me, it was multiple aspects. I looked at being the type of person that wants to always grow and learn and help others. I just simply looked at the list of things and said, there's $15,000 in bonuses and stuff.
Isn't that crazy?
And then I can create a business, and I can also have the possibility or the potential to magnify my investment portfolio, which is going to, one I always talk about, allow me to do more, be more, and experience more. Because, like, wouldn't it be awesome to be able to go to Africa and not have to worry about it, take 2 weeks off, go help people, and not have to worry about the financial burden of that. You come back.
That is one of the other things. Yeah, that's one of the other things I want to do, because my background is nursing, right? Licensed practical nurse. And the thought of being able to do that is, and I know, like, because I have an 18-year-old and a 9-year-old, almost 10-year-old. And so there's a few things tying me up in that aspect, but I know for a fact I'll be able to do those things in the very near future. And that's always been a dream of mine. And yeah, to be able to do that without being like, even just simply going on a vacation this past summer to Fairmont and not worrying about like, I need to get back because I need to be able to pick up some extra shifts, and you know, where's the cheapest pizza, and well, we can't go zip lining because that costs too much money. Like, my whole life has been that, right? And so to just let it all go was just incredible. And my kids have absolutely reaped the benefits, because I think I was teaching them limiting beliefs by living my life that way. And now I hopefully can change that pattern for them, right?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that, say you were to increase your financial abundance, right? The first thing that a lot of people do is they'll actually go do something that challenges them, something that maybe that scares them, but they might have said before, well, it costs too much, or does this, right? Like, I used funds that I was able to, like, that I grew to be able to go to the Grand Canyon and like to go skydiving and like stuff that I've always wanted to do, but I was just like making up the story in my head that like, I can never afford that. What if my bank account goes down? You know what I mean? So it really.
And that's how I kicked off the beginning of this, was skydiving too.
Awesome.
Because it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
And I still want to do my ground training, so that will be this summer, hopefully.
Cool. Yeah, and the more we do that, more we push ourselves, the more we can change other people as well, or give them the tools and strategies to do the same thing, right? So it's just amazing. That's one question I ask people, is that, what do you really want to do? Well, one of my clients said, I want to be able to take my family to Disney World and not have to worry about it. And she's doing that. Like, it's like, you don't have to come back and worry about those extra shifts or have to, I don't know, not eat the same thing.
Pinch pennies somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
You're taking from one area and put it to another. And so then that kind of lessens that abundance in that other area. So if you can have that complete abundance, then you're not, how they say, stealing from Sam. I don't know how they say it, but you're basically sacrificing in one area for another. And there's not really, and that's okay if you have to do that, but it's not necessary when you get in this program, because like, the abundance is absolutely mind-blowing. And it just, every single morning, every Monday, right? Like, you know, and if we think about, like, the more I'm thinking about things, because you're talking to people like you and listening to people like you, and you're realizing, like, some of the things that I questioned and I thought I couldn't do, like, there's a freaking person that built an airplane when before people could fly. And you're listening to all the inspiration that you and everybody else is sharing, and you're kind of wondering why you ever put those limits on yourself. It seems so silly, because what I want to do seems so small in comparison to what some people have done in this world. Like, of course I can do it. Why did I ever question it, right? It seems so silly.
Yeah, you truly do get out of your own way. Yeah.
Well, and connecting, like, I love your videos, and just everybody, right? When you're surrounded by that, it's a never-ending supply of reminders. Like, even if because everybody has that little bits of ups and downs, but when you're in this program and you got that sort of, that constant feedback of people moving forward and hitting bumps, but going through it, like, it's absolutely impossible, I think, to stay stuck. I truly believe it.
Yeah, the community pushing you through, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's all I have for today, unless you have anything else to add.
No, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity thank you so much for inviting me and for the opportunity.
My pleasure. I will talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.